People always ask me what's the difference between a C of O and a governor's consent, or in Abuja, consent to assign. Well, Ajebo is here for you, so let's break it down. Well, we all know this, but all lands belong to the government according to the Land Use Act of 1978. So, whether that land is your father's land or your mother's land, it is the government's land. So, we don't get permanent ownership to these lands, but rather what we get is to use this land for a certain amount of years, which is usually 99 years. A C of O, or a certificate of occupancy, is given when the government allocates land for the first time. Think of it as a birth certificate of that land, and it is valid for 99 years. Usually it is given to the estate developer or the first time buyer of that land. Now here's the key part. Once that land is sold to someone else, what you need now is a governor's consent. That's the governor's approval that yes, this new buyer is now the recognized owner of that land. For Abuja, it is a little bit different since Abuja has no governor, but it is being controlled by the minister. So the lands are delegated to the minister. So instead of applying for a governor's consent, what you apply for is a ministerial consent or consent to assign. They're both the same thing but different authorities. In estate lands, this is where many people get confused. The developers may show you a big C of O covering the entire estate or covering the entire land, but to secure your ownership, you will need to process a governor's consent or a C of O. But most genuine estates would do this for you, but still you have to verify at Aegis or the Ministry of Land. So let's recap. A first-time buyer or first allocation requires a C of O, while if it's being sold or transferred to someone else, it requires a governor's consent or a minister's consent in the case of Abuja. And that is all for today. If you're looking to invest in Abuja and you're scared of being scammed, please send me a DM. I sell verified lands and properties in Abuja. Thank you for watching.